Excuse my makeup, but today was my first full day of being 22. Part of it was really good. My kids had their first performance of the year. They did pretty well, but I think I need to focus more on certain things for them. But it also didn't go how I wanted it to. So I am going to keep a video diary. That's still makeup. My Instagram.
She's a big dancer. That's her whole life. It was what she was meant to do, and part of the core of who she is. And she was dancing on and off a dance floor, always dancing.
Trinity Maxon said she'd met Eleanor through friends at Sacramento's Torch Club, a place they loved to come, listen to music, and dance. She describes Steffi as a light, a beam of energy, the kind of person you could become best friends with in an instant.
Eleanor loves her mom and loves her family, and sorry. I just want her legacy to be known, not just for not just being the star of the show, but also for the caring person that she was and the things that she would do for her community and for her family.
She had no warning, no time to react, and no chance to move out of the way. One moment she was exactly where she was supposed to be, and the next, everything was gone. What happened that afternoon did not come from a bad decision or a risky choice. It came out of nowhere in a place people trust. During a routine millions follow every day, and by the time anyone understood what was happening, it was already over. What was left behind was a family searching for answers, a school left empty, and a community struggling to understand how something so violent could happen so suddenly. This is the story of Eleanor P. Steffi and how one moment can change everything. Eleanor P. Steffi was 22 years old, but the impact she made reached far beyond her years. From the time she was young, Eleanor loved to dance. It came naturally to her and was never just a phase. Music made her move, and movement made her feel alive. Those who knew her growing up say dance was always part of who she was. As she got older, that love only grew stronger. Dance became how she expressed joy, released emotion, and connected with the world. Over time, it became both her passion and her purpose. Eleanor chose to share that passion with others by becoming a dance instructor. She taught at the Hawkins School of the Performing Arts in Folsom, where she worked closely with young people. Teaching felt natural to her because she genuinely cared. She wanted her students to feel confident and supported, just as dance had done for her. As an instructor, Eleanor was patient and encouraging. She understood that every student was different and met them where they were. She focused less on perfection and more on growth and self-belief. Her classes were places where students felt seen and safe. People describe Eleanor as warm and open. She smiled easily and laughed often. She had a way of making people feel comfortable, even if they had just met her. She listened closely and remembered small details that mattered. Being around her felt easy. Eleanor was deeply connected to her family, especially her mother. They worked side by side and shared everyday life together. Their bond was built on love, trust, and support, and that closeness shaped how Eleanor treated others. She also believed strongly in community. Together with her mother, Eleanor helped open their restaurant as a welcoming space for local dance crews who needed somewhere safe to practice. She believed that people deserved places where they could belong without judgment. Friends say Eleanor had a special energy. She was the kind of person whose presence stayed with you. Even brief moments with her felt meaningful. She was well known in Sacramento's dance and music spaces, including the Torch Club, where friends remember her dancing freely and spreading joy.
Are you filming it? Yeah. Okay. Now I'm fucking it. Look. Tap, tap. Tap, tap. Okay. I'm just gonna wish you good luck. Mastering a new skill.
On the morning of January 22nd, Eleanor P. Steffi worked at the restaurant she ran with her mother before later taking the light rail to Folsom to teach a dance class. something she did routinely. And just before 3 in the afternoon, she was standing on the raised platform at the Iron Point station, waiting for her train, when a Tesla traveling downhill on Iron Point Road suddenly veered off the roadway for reasons still under investigation, crossed a parking lot, struck a tree, and crashed at high speed into the platform, flipping onto the tracks below and causing severe damage to both the vehicle and station. Eleanor, a bystander, was struck while standing on the platform and was killed instantly, pronounced dead at the scene, while the adult female driver survived and was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police have said alcohol does not appear to be a factor, and that determining the cause, whether speed, mechanical failure, or a medical emergency, could take weeks or months. What should have been a place of safety became the site of sudden violence, turning breaking news into devastating loss for a community that soon learned the victim was not just a statistic, but Eleanor, a beloved teacher, dancer, and young woman with a full life ahead of her. Her father, James Weems, said he received the call every parent fears, visited the site, and struggled to understand how it happened, tearfully sharing his hope that she did not see it coming, while her mother said the family is profoundly grieving the loss of a daughter whose light touched so many. Tributes poured in from students, friends, and community members. A memorial formed at the station, and the Hawkins School of the Performing Arts honored Eleanor as a cherished teacher, mentor, and steady presence whose care and encouragement extended far beyond the classroom, leaving a deep emptiness in her absence. In the midst of grief, Eleanor's family and friends have committed to ensuring her legacy continues through plans for a nonprofit in her name to support dance education, workshops, masterclasses, and cultural exchange opportunities for young people in the Sacramento area, with a GoFundMe established to help carry forward the love, guidance, and belief she gave her students so that her influence lives on through the future she helped shape.
Today, her father identified her as 22-year-old Eleanor P. Steffi. He says she loved dancing even as a little girl. ABC 10's Roxanne Elias spoke to him and her friends today.
I've tried to make some sort of sense of it and all that kind of good stuff, but it's kind of hard.
Choked up by emotion, James Weems says the tragic death of his daughter, Eleanor P. Steffi, is difficult to comprehend. He says he received the call over the weekend, letting him know the 22-year-old was hit by a driver at a Folsom light rail station on Thursday. She was headed to work as a dance instructor at the Hawkins School of Performing Arts in Folsom. Folsom police say the cause of the crash is under investigation.
Before we release a cause or before we release information about the accident, we want to make sure that we have looked at everything. And unfortunately, in a fatal collision, that means sometimes weeks and weeks, sometimes even months of work, checking every possible angle and gathering all the information that we can get.
Weems says he visited the crash site Sunday night. He's in the construction trade, and he says he had a hard time understanding how the car hit his daughter before ending up on the tracks. But he hopes she didn't suffer.
I'm hoping that she didn't see it coming, because to try to think about that, that's what I was trying to see last night. You know what I mean? But I couldn't see it.
Delcy Steffi, Eleanor's mother, also sent us a statement saying in part, "We are profoundly grieving the loss of our beloved Eleanor. Her light shined so brightly, and she made an impact on so many. Her loss is devastating."
Friends of Eleanor say they met her here at the Torch Club, where she was known for being a regular on Sunday nights and for her dance moves.
She was just the life of the party everywhere she went. It was kind of impossible to be in a bad mood around her. She was always moving, always singing, always dancing. She was so passionate about dance and the people that she taught and the community that she built around that.
Friends say in order to make sure her legacy lives on, the family is establishing a nonprofit in her name.
Obviously, I think everything's still all in the works. This is all very sudden. But right now we are trying to contribute all community funds to further her legacy, especially in the arts, specifically with dance and children, and kind of furthering the love that she loved to give to everyone.
Weems says his wishes are that his daughter left a lasting impression on the children she was around, and he's hopeful to see what their future will bring.
Even if not in dancing, in character. because I know they've been touched in a miraculous way. I just don't know how that unfolds.
Eleanor P. Steffi's life ended far too soon, but the way she lived continues to matter. She showed up for others with patience, kindness, and joy. She built community through dance, teaching, and simply being present. Her absence is deeply felt by her family, her students, and everyone who knew her. Yet her spirit lives on in the confidence she helped build, the spaces she helped create, and the people who continue to remember her. Eleanor's story is a reminder that a life does not have to be long to be meaningful. When a life is lived with love and purpose, its impact can last far beyond time. Rest in peace, Eleanor P. Steffi.